I don't know, Julie. Wait, there it is.
Good morning. Welcome to Take Action Training. This is Jess. Wait, sometimes she's over here. I don't know, whichever side.
That
Jess,
other person.
and it could be up to down, up. I don't know. Anyway, Jess and I am Julie, and together we're socially inclined, bringing you the best of everything to grow your business. So, if you're catching this on replay, it happens to be Christmas. You missed Jessica's little ears, so put them back on so we can be a little festive.
Aww.
Even if it's August or March. Jessica's favorite time of the year. So you missed it because we had not hit record yet. But
Ho, ho,
anyway,
ho.
Ho, ho, ho. All right. So
what are we talking about today?
Today's topic. Do you want to put it up so
Nah.
you got it? No? Okay.
Boom.
Boom. There's not a zoom on that joker, is there?
There is, but it starts to cut into the page. It's kind of dumb. We need to put in some tickets for them.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that. Oh, well, back it up. Sorry if you can't see this very well. I've been meaning to ask about this. So,
how about that?
Okay.
That's about as good as it's going to get, though.
All right. So today's topic, creating a website that converts. So if you've been with us for any previous TAT, you know we talk about all things social media, but also pulling people off of social media to your hub of your website. You own your website, basically, just like pulling people off for email. So you missed a little combo before we hit record on email marketing as well. So it pays to show up live. So you get all the tidbits. But even if you don't already have a website, we've talked in the past on TATs about using Canva, which is a free tool. You can use a landing page builder. There's lots of ways. We did the link in bio. So this is a step up from that. So if you don't have a website yet, go watch the link in bio. I will drop this. Debbie is not with us today. She is traveling, or maybe she's watching.
She is here. I saw her.
Hey, Debbie. Debbie's traveling. So I'm going to drop this.
So
you need the replays.
Before we really get started, I just want to say something that Julie's not going to say. Julie has been doing websites for as long as websites have been around. So every time we bring you a TAT topic, you know, we've done our research and we're bringing you the best. But when I say Julie's the OG real deal at websites, it's true. So
thank you.
There you go. There's my little girl crush.
You. I have been doing them since 2004, and I have done many thousands of them. So if challenged, I could knock one out in 4 hours. So
a big one.
Yeah, a big one. Yeah.
We showed you how to design one for free in Canva, like Julie was mentioning in previous TATs. And I think we did that in just like 30 minutes. But when she says 4 hours, she means like a big deal e-commerce type site.
Yep.
That would take Jess over here about 28 hours and probably about 3 tearful phone calls and screen shares to Julie. But I could do it.
She can do it. So she did one recently. So anyway, so welcome everybody that's on here. Everybody drop and say hello. When you come back in, tell us what you do so we can work it into the conversation. Just want to say hello really quick to Deanne. She did take us up on. She's the only one I see here that took us up on. She got a makeover, although she doesn't exactly need a makeover because she has been following all these TATs and has been doing all the things. So we're going to do an audit and we're going to spin that into more coaching for you because we didn't give you like a whole coaching offer. So we're going to make it work for you though. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you and excited to do that with you. All right. So creating a website that converts. So I do want to say first and foremost that you can throw up any old page in Canva or whatever, but there are elements to a website that are psychological that will get people to act. there are certain things that have to be included or need to be included. I'll say have to be included to really make a difference. So it's so hard to get people to your site. You want to convert them when they get there. Jessica always hates when I say it's a microwave society. You're on your phone, you're scrolling, something happens, squirrel, whatever, 13 things have happened in the meantime and you forgot what you were doing. There's some elements that will help, and we're going to tackle them today. So,
exactly. So these 3 things right here, obviously, we all need to be good at this. If you're not getting a steady stream of prospects, if your prospects are coming to you super confused more often than not, and if your online profiles aren't linking back to somewhere where you're collecting, which is all part of that funnel, that seems to be so scary for people, but it's really just about bringing people into your sphere and off of social media so that you can control the dialogue there. So if you struggle with any of those things, you might want to take a look at your website. And if you don't have a website, you might want to consider a website because you can get them for free if you use the Canva option, or super, super cheap. I remember when I started, I had just been laid off. I had almost zero money to spend. And I think it was like $19 a month for a website through Squarespace. And that may be a little more expensive now. I'm not sure. But they are quite affordable and definitely one of those things that if you can make room for in your budget at all possible, it is an important thing to do.
Exactly. And I will say I had a call the other day with someone wanting website design. And I am unapologetic about cost as to what it costs. There are 2 schools. There is the DIY school and the done for you school. So the DIY school, if you're just starting out, you can totally go through and do it. The website builders are so much easier today. And there are even some templates, and like this training is going to help you to know sort of what needs to be there. So I will say that, if you're in a place where done for you, you're going to get the copywriting expertise. You're going to get the psychological expertise. You're going to get all that. But if you're not there, you've got to start somewhere, and DIY is for you. So
I taught myself how to make websites way back when.
Exactly.
And you can do it too, because I had no idea. But they do, the big ones now do make it easy. WordPress still kind of sucks, in my opinion. It's one of the hardest. But like I said, I learned on Squarespace. And what's the other one? Weebly, Wix. We've done Wix too. Those are all very approachable.
Yeah, there are so many now. And for e-commerce, Shopify is the end all be all. So for today, that changes. But I do want to say that Pep Talk, if you don't have one, you don't think you can get one, it's probably more attainable. You're just going to have to put a few hours into it. So, All right. So, and a website is not necessarily if you build it, they will come kind of thing either. So that's why all the things work together. You have to have the social media, the email, push into the website that brings all of that together. So SEO is going to be a thing we're going to talk about in just a minute too. But all in all,
lead magnet. Can't forget that.
Exactly. And gosh, we should have probably extended our lead magnet.
For those of you who missed it, they were 50% off yesterday to get me to make you your own lead magnet.
Exactly. So, but if you missed it, you can, and you don't have the replays to TAT, we had a whole lead magnet series that'll teach you the DIY version. So again, time versus money always is one of those things. So anyway, so just rounding this out, I love this comment. I was going to let Jessica say it, but hope is not a marketing strategy. I was trying to leave it for you, but there does need to be strategy. That is also what you get in done for you. But with TATs, you're learning the strategy that gets to be built in. So you are going to know ideally what to do to attract your ideal clients and how to convert them once they get there.
Can't believe you didn't save that for me.
I tried.
You tried.
I did.
Hope is not a marketing strategy. It's feel good and it's fluffy, and you should always have hope and that positivity when you're planning, but you can't just have quarter acidly something up and hope that it works, because that's not how it works.
Exactly.
So right, I got to back this out a little. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Here we go.
I wish it didn't do this, but all right. So, if you get someone to your website, you've already had to do a little work. So you've either pulled them off social media, pulled them from your email list, pulled them from a Facebook ad, something. Or you've possibly done some SEO on your website that will pull them from a search engine. But it's typically not, something somebody's going to say, oh, let me go look at their website. I mean, unless they're vetting you. But once they get there, you have like 3 seconds to convert them, to get them to do the next action. So the strategy that we're going to talk about is, what do you want them to do next? So you've got to give them that next step. So
you start with first, since this is one of the more expert ones, and then I'll do next.
All right. So I did touch on SEO just a second, and that's one of the ways that you can get people to your website. So SEO is short for search engine optimization. When you are building your website, you are wanting to think of keywords that that people would search to find you. We would do, for us, social media planners, social media posts, social media post templates. So longer tail keywords built into your text as you're writing it will help you tremendously to get people to your site. Okay. SEO is a really complex thing. That's really all you need to know about it in this little session.
Yeah. And just a little bit can go a long way. So I used to get so overwhelmed by the concept of SEO and just how complex it is. But if you can just do a little thought process of how it is coming from those you're seeking. That was a really convoluted way of saying, what is your ideal client ideally sitting down and searching for in Google? And you want to list out 4 or 5 of those phrases and try to incorporate them naturally into the text of your sales page or your website. How is that?
And if you don't know, like we collect what you say when you're going to join our group. When we ask you a few questions, we actually analyze those and use those words in our copy, but also in our keywords, because if you're saying them there, you probably are searching for them as well. So you want to get in the mind of your ideal client and what would they search for to find you. So just to boil it down.
Exactly. And similarly, you want to think about how to best answer those questions, which kind of goes in the same, is almost identical to what Julie was just talking about. We ask those questions, which are some of our most pain point questions whenever you enter our group, so that we know what to answer what to put front and center as an answer when people come to our group or to our site, so that they can really see how we can serve them quickly without having to dig through a whole bunch of copy that isn't necessarily needed.
Exactly. And we use it for copy, not just frequently asked questions, because those are huge, but we use it in the copy and the language of the people come to see what's in it for them. It's not what you do. I build websites. What do they get from my building them a website is how you're looking at that. So by using their language or thinking it in their terms. All right. So the next big thing, and I see this all the time, is, especially if you're brick and mortar or service based or something like that, is how do they contact you? Okay. So a lot of people, so if you're brick and mortar, it's a big no-no. Not to, like, you need to have your phone number front and center, a click to call. If you're service based as well, I have it front and center, because that's how they're going to contact you. Either that, your contact form, having your email in the footer. You want to have, in this case, more is more, as long as it's not cluttered. So you want to you've done the work to get them there. You want them to be able to get in touch with you. One thing that you also can do a chat bot right on your website today, super easy. So, and that's instant access. So a call to action, right up front, contact me, schedule an appointment, get a quote, whatever it is that they need to take the next step, short of a lead magnet. We're talking about contact. To do more.
And lastly, speaking of lead magnet, how do you plan to contact your visitors in the future? We have talked about this. We did a 6-part training in TAT on lead magnets. We've done in 2 back-to-back sessions on how to do email marketing. We have shown you how to do all of this, but this is where you bring it full circle. So how do you plan to contact them in the future? You want to gather their email address using a freebie. And why would you want to do that? They'll contact me if they want. 9 times out of 10, no, they won't, especially if you are selling something that might be, maybe it's not the right time for them. I did fitness for a long time, and some of the biggest clients that I had, they would watch me for months before they got up the nerve to, actually reach out to me and purchase my products and services. So maybe they are too timid to contact you, or maybe they know that they can't afford it right now and they're waiting until 2 months from now, payday or whatever. You want to make sure, though, that you take that fleeting opportunity. Julie's all about the squirrel mentality, microwave mentality, whatever. You worked really hard to get them on your website or to get them in front of your opt-in. You want to make sure that you take advantage of that. And the only way to do that is to get them to opt in. And that is done very easily with a really good freebie that helps them with the problems that they came to your site to fix in the first place.
Exactly. So that is the next step to making more contact. So you've pulled them from however they've gotten there. You don't want them to just read a minute and leave. You want to continue that conversation. Yes, they can still see you on social media, we hope. But if you get them on your list, your email list, you have a much better chance of actually carrying a conversation with them.
Exactly. Next. I was looking at some of this chat. You guys are doing good.
All right. So conversions. So somebody, so TATs are meant to be for newbies, whatever. So you may not even know what a conversion is. So a conversion is taking someone from point A to point B and actually getting them to do the thing. So it's not always a sale. Obviously a sale is a conversion, but it's if they share your content, if they sign up for your mailing list, if they view a page, even can be considered a conversion. But it's some exchange, and conversions equal success. Those are micro commitments that you are getting. The more of those little conversions, the more likely they are to become a client, to buy the thing, to whatever your conversion is, however you make money. Okay. So a conversion sounds scary, but it's not.
It does sound scary. Where are we?
You only have a few seconds.
Okay. Yeah. So this is no secret because we know, think about when you're on someone's site and you're browsing for something, how quickly you can get pulled in a different direction. And that's why doing some things to your website, like we're going to talk about here in just a minute, is so important, because people come off social media and they're honestly going to go back to social media as soon as they finish getting that itch scratched that brought them over to you in the first place. So you want to make sure that your offer, your opt-in, whatever it is front and center on your website so that you can grab that person's contact information before they get back to the scroll, which is what they're trying to do. The other thing, and this one, man, I put this one in there because me, A lot of times I am on a site, sometimes this morning it was trying to put in a Walmart order for groceries, but things happen. Your phone will ring, you'll get a text from someone. So make sure you keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about the client journey for your website, that stuff like that happens. So you want to make sure that it's very easy for them to opt in real quickly or get the information they need real quickly, so that if something does come up, the attention that they were able to give you is maximized to its fullest. And I think I already kind of covered the whole get them to sign up on your mailing list. We've talked about that a lot.
Exactly. So that's your number one option or thing that you're trying to do when you get someone to your website. You need to have another way to contact them to continue the conversation, because you're building know, like, and trust. Someone's not going to, Deanne most likely wouldn't have just seen our social media post about a makeover and just said, okay, yep. So she had to get to know us. She had to know that we knew what we were doing. That's the way this cycle works. This whole thing is a funnel. You're funneling them to your email and to your social so that you can continue the conversation. So you're building know, like, and trust so that one day you can get the sale.
Exactly. And again, hope is not a marketing strategy. There is almost zero chance, especially if it's the first time, that if they click off your site without having converted in some way, that they will come back, unless, you spend the money and you get back in front of them with a Facebook ad or whatever it is. You keep putting that content out there, which is where consistency comes in. But that all ties back to giving them a reason to convert when they land on your site. And that goes into that comes back to your freebie, to your opt-in, all the things that we have been talking about.
Exactly. And there's a reason why this is at the end of the year, because all of the things that we've done previous dump into this, and you're taking that next step. So, all right, next. Simple ways to increase your conversions. All right, so we know what a conversion is. So we need, again, you've gotten them there. All right. They need to understand exactly what you do for them. Think of the previous TAT where we brought your little bio, how they need to know on Instagram exactly what you do and how you help. Same here. As soon as they land on your site, above the fold is what we call the screen that you can see there. It needs to be super clear as to what they get. Not necessarily what you do, but what they get out of it. The benefit somehow needs to be addressed there. And then they will read on to actually see the products and services that you can give them to achieve that.
Yeah. So socially inclined, social media simplified, take the overwhelm out of social media. All we need is for someone to say, oh, hell yeah, I need that. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you. Been looking around for that. And then they will read more. So think about how you would answer that prayer, if you will, of like, how do you fit into someone's aha moment? Like, yes, this is what I've been looking for. This is going to make my life so much easier, in a sentence or two. And that is what she's talking about, making sure that is there above the fold. They don't have to scroll anywhere. They don't have to look any harder. You want them to say, yes, I need that, so that they'll keep reading.
Exactly. So, building websites since 2004, thousands of websites built. That's the thing. That's not how it's going to transform their life. Okay. So most websites. So if you get this right, like this one thing right, then you're opening up a whole new world for them to read more and to know exactly how they can help. That 3 to 5 seconds, it's probably like 3 today. You've got to capture them. So
it's like a pain point, right? Is that what you put up there?
Yeah. All right. The thing that they need solved the most, the thing that will give them whatever it is. Obviously we can think of it in our terms, but and then if you're e-commerce based, again, this is a little bit different because I'm thinking about Mary Alice. So she's got, crochet products. So the pain point, hers might be a little different, but still it's like we can, at Christmas time, we can go at it from the point of unique handmade gifts. How, like, I can go get a gift card from anywhere, but like if I've taken the time to think about this gift, like people are hard to buy for. So a thoughtful gift, whatever. So get on those terms in Christmas on your website.
Exactly.
Like you're talking to the pain point. Because I always want to give a great gift to somebody that they think, oh my gosh, she either knows me or, she really thought about this. Okay. So if that makes sense. All right.
Exactly. Wait. I wanted to just say, can we talk about that for just a minute?
Sure.
Because I think that's such a great thing. And I know Mary Alice has been here a long time. But you're probably not going to be competing on price. So, that's not going to be part of your unique value proposition, which is what we're talking about whenever we say that front and center, 3 to 5 seconds. But if you think about some of the big guys, so Walmart, always at the front and center of the top of every page that they have is going to be something about saving money, living better, lower prices, whatever. Mary Alice, if you want some inspiration, one of my favorite places to look for unique gifts, easy to buy for the hard to buy for type thing, uncommongoods.com. If you guys have ever been there, you should go look at some of the language that they use. And I think that you could use that as inspiration to really bring out and highlight the uniqueness of your product. And that can go for anyone who's watching this either live or on the replay who does offer handmade, unique things, including products and services. So Deanne, it's not to say that you or Savita couldn't use some of that language on there. But for any of you who have been to Uncommon Goods, and for those of you who go check it out after this, you're going to be like, yeah, they got it. And I actually started following them right after they started. It was like 10 years ago. I was buying Christmas presents off of there. And they have become so big, but they've maintained that feeling of you're supporting like artisanal artists. Is that a thing? But it's just a really great place if you're in that niche to go find some without, obviously you could hire us to do copywriting and all of that, but don't be afraid to look around and kind of find some things like that, because that's a stark contrast to things like Walmart and Costco, who sell on a totally different, value proposition lane. That was really wordy, but hopefully that's helpful.
And do you see the connection you're making with someone by using Mary Alice's example? And Sarah, I just saw that she had a toy organization. So her website is talking to the pain point of how much better your life would be when it's organized. How many hours a day can you get back just because you know where things are? How does it make you feel to be uncluttered? All of those things. That front and center, like this is, we've spent a lot of time on this because this is the most important piece of the website. So really get into your target market's head as to what you can do for them, how it would be life-changing. So, and it sounds silly to say, how can, something handmade, crocheted be life-changing, but it can, because it is a gift from the heart you have really thought about. I saw, Mary Alice, let's see, you crochet. I don't know if this would be a knitted thing. What are those plant holders? Macrame something or other. I need one of those for my friend. So I thought about that. I thought about how awesome is that, something handmade. But all right.
Sarah, you might like some of the language too. Sorry, I just saw her hop in there. But you deliver a unique service, and what you do for each and every person is unique to the previous client. So you can always, especially we do not compete at Socially Inclined, it's no secret, we do not compete with the low bid. That's not us. We're more of a quality, expertise type, unique value proposition for us. So for those of you who do not compete on price, which I would say is almost every person who's ever going to watch this, because when you're a small business, you're not doing volume, you're doing love, unique, handmade, what is that? I'm trying to think. What is it? Gourmet, whatever it is. You're doing those unique things that you're going to charge more for so that you can make a profit and you can be successful at a lower volume. All right. I am off of my horse.
All right. I got one more.
Go ahead.
So just like our bundles. So the market is flooded now with templates, Canva templates. You can get whatever, but so ours are so different because now they're completely done for you. You have a post caption, you have, hashtag suggestions. Yes, you can zhuzh them up a little bit and that'd be great, but no one else is taking the time to do that. That's what makes that unique. That's what, if we had a website just for bundles, that's what we would lead with, how much time is saved, how much better quality, blah, blah, blah. So how it's going to help them. All right. People need to know who you are. So this is a pet peeve of ours.
Even though it's my turn, I'm going to let you do this one because I know that this is like to your core.
Because people do business with people. Okay? You need to know who you're doing business with. You have learned, you are here, you are learning about us. Okay? You have gotten to know us. But think about when you first came into our world. Okay? So maybe you saw a social media post. Maybe you got in our group. Maybe you got a freebie or whatever. But at some point, you've come to our website. So, or anyone's website. You want to know who is the face behind the business. Do they care? What do they do? How much more impact is it when you get to meet Mary Alice on her website as why she puts so much love and care into her products. Okay. Same with Sarah. Sarah loves organization, decluttering. Savita loves financial independence, financial freedom. Yes. All right. So when people have a passion about what they do, it is contagious and it makes them want to do business with you. So you have to be front and center on your website. People balk all the time. They don't want a picture. They don't even want an about me page or whatever. But this is just totally doing yourself a disservice if you won't be the face of your business.
All right. And another thing that is totally doing yourself a disservice, take it from us because we have been there and we are still fighting the clutter. Make sure it's clean and as uncluttered and streamlined as possible. Now, if you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur, which I know there are a lot of you in this sphere, whether you're on live or you're watching it on replay, this is hard. You really do have to back out of some things and kind of focus on those few things that are really going to serve the majority of the people who come. And then for those who are really interested, they can dig a little deeper and uncover, the vast array of products and services that you might offer. But you want it to feel, when someone lands for the first time, you don't want them to feel overwhelmed. You don't want them to feel like they're going to have to spend a ton of energy trying to understand what the heck it is you do. You want it to be clear, front-centered, and easy to read, easy to understand.
Exactly. And white space. We talk about that when designing social media posts, the images and graphics, uncluttered. Part of that is having a lot of white space. So Sarah, think about, so my desk has little stacks. Okay. It needs to have white space. It needs to not have those stacks on top. So white space is great to help people see your main points. So as much space as you can.
And baby biz disclaimer, it doesn't have to be white space. That's an expression. It just means not too much text. So if your website is mauve or mint green, then it's mint green space. You want to just make sure that you give your text plenty of space, your graphics plenty of space, so that it's easy to read and not overwhelming.
You don't want them all crammed up together. Okay. White space. Have spacing. We'll just use space there. All right. So very good, because yes, very good term.
Is it my turn? Or your turn?
Either.
No, I think it's your turn. You're on photos and graphics.
Yep. So this is a big deal. All right. So I got a couple points with here, but photos tell a story. Okay. So words need to be in very broken up. Oops, sorry. I thought I turned that off. It needs to be very easy to read. And again, your photos are going to tell the story of your site, what it is that you do or whatever. So people are just hitting the highlights. Okay. So a well-placed and good quality image and graphic only helps to really build up the, what's the word I'm looking for? Professionalism. That's not the word I'm looking for, but we'll do it there. You want it to be very professional as far as look like it's put together by us, socially inclined, even if it's a DIY. So, and I want to say that so many people still today, they're looking for an image. They go to Google, they search an image, they grab it and put it on their website. This is terrible. This is against the law. Literally, copyright law. You are stealing someone else's work. You have to go and buy licensed images. So if you abide by that rule, you will always have beautiful, beautiful pictures. You have to either buy the license or use royalty free, which you can get from unsplash.com. Has some of the most creative, amazing images that you can use for free. So, but there's no substitute for a great, compelling image that tells a story.
Please do not go grab a graphic off of Google. You will you run the risk of literally getting a bill from somebody and hearing from somebody's lawyer. Right.
I have had three or four customers to date that have grabbed a Getty image. So Getty was the end all be all to begin with. And so $2,200, $2,600, $2,800 bills that they get, and there's nothing that you can do. They have a screenshot that you used it on their website. You used it. So you're paying the bill or you're going to court. So they have a nice little enterprise going there. All right.
Freebie. I love talking about freebies. I always get this one. All right. So yeah, you have to have your freebie there. This is, I feel like this is kind of the most important part of conversion, because this is where you're converting them from kind of just a looker to a interested lead. So you want to have that freebie there front and center. We did a TAT specifically on how to install a freebie, how to make mock-ups so that they look nice on your website. So if you don't have the TAT replays and you want that, make sure you go get them because they are still really, really cheap. But yeah, you want your freebie to be there because that's how you're going to collect, how you're going to grow your mailing list with interested leads. And the other thing is it doesn't necessarily, yes, you want your freebie there, but you can also put call to actions in things like your blog posts. You can put them up you can have like a little announcement bar at the top of your website. So there are other things you can do to get people to convert in other ways. So maybe that top bar could be join my Facebook group, or your blog post could be about cleaning tips, and maybe you're doing a live on cleaning tips every Tuesday. So you give them the little opt-in for that so that they can get involved with you that way.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing that you're trying to do. This is your conversion. So, all right. Next thing is a page builder. So really, this is the first thing. If you're going to DIY a website, you've got to pick a platform to use. There are all types of builders out there, from Squarespace to Wix to Weebly to even we have a DIY, a branded of our own that that we use. Kajabi is what we use for Socially Inclined because it's an all-in-one. So you need to basically pick your poison, do a little research. They're all really great. They all sort of do the same thing. Just kind of depends on what you're looking to do. If you're e-commerce, it needs to be an e-commerce shop. If it's e-commerce, there's just no question. There's no substitute for Shopify. You can use WordPress with WooCommerce, but as Jessica mentioned earlier, what most people have tremendous trouble with WordPress because it's big and scary. Elementor is listed in this, and it is an add-on to WordPress that is a builder that makes it drag and drop, but you still have all of the installation of the plugins and the things that you need. So if you're a DIYer, I would stay away from WordPress. It's totally doable. There's millions and millions and millions of websites built on it. But if you only have a certain amount of time, you're going to be better served with something like Squarespace is really nice. There's a lot of nice ones. So just pick one and go with it. And Lead Pages was mentioned here. Lead Pages is more of an opt-in. It does offer landing pages, but it's not a full website builder. But it does do a great job of integrating.
I guess I should have put Canva in there, but
yeah, Canva.
We talked about Canva and how to use Canva in a previous one.
To date,
that's totally free.
Yeah, to date, I don't think it's still possible. I imagine that it will be at some point, but for Canva, I don't think that you can attach your own domain, your own URL. So like julieherndon.com. I don't think that you can do that at this date. I do look for that to come though. So that would be a reason, that's something that's not covered in this, but picking a great domain, I want to say as well, is a big deal to get people, like when you're standing out in the Google feed, like Socially Inclined. People are like, oh, that's a cute play on words. So, all right.
Julie's proud of her 2009 self. All right. So display social proof, testimonials, reviews. I screenshotted one of Deanne's comments earlier because I just loved it, and I'm about to go put it on our Take Action Training sales page because it was bomb. So that's what you want to do. You want to be showing up, and you want to be collecting good feedback. And you can always ask for those reviews and those testimonials. But if you don't have any right off the bat, you can get some of your first clients and customers to give you some kind of feedback that you can use.
Something I want to point out here to not do is don't make them up yourself and don't use a stock image. Stock images, I see this a lot where you'll, see someone that is a model that's, and you've seen her on like lots of other places. So do your due diligence to surely you can find 3 people that you've done business with in the past, 1, 2, 3 on the website, use their little image, their little quote, and it makes such a great presentation. There are lots of plugins as well for getting reviews. We actually have one to capture reviews, and then it's got a little plugin that you can put on your website, and it has a little almost in the bottom corner. You've probably seen it on our website before. It doesn't show all the time. It's a little annoying to me. So, but it's a great way to show social proof.
That is a little advanced, but yes, you can go that route as well. All right. Julie's favorite part. This is take action part.
We're going to put it all together. So we've taught you. So now you're going to go do the thing. So, and even if you already have a website, go back and think of these things and make sure that, does my site clearly state what I do and who I can help? Again, this is the number one most important thing above the fold. What is in it for them? Okay. So you need to go do a self-assessment and make sure what your message is. One other thing that you can do is you can have several people that don't know exactly what you do go through your website and on a level of, now tell me what I do. Do you know, especially Deanna's a life coach. So a lot of people don't get what it is. So get 3 friends to go through and, in their words, tell you what your site means.
Oh, are we going through all these questions? So yes, also your picture, you want to make sure that people are doing business with you. They're not going to do business with some entity that they can't find the person behind it. So make sure that you're standing out as the face of your business, even though that's sometimes painful. It's going to be necessary to create the kind of business that I think you're probably after.
Exactly. Is my site clean and uncluttered? Again, you're going to look at it from the view of someone coming to your site new. Are there major bullet points that they can read throughout? People are skimmers, don't have a whole book. We didn't talk about that, but don't have a whole book of 3 paragraphs on the front page. People will not read it. So big bullet points that will help break up and show exactly what you do. So assess that and then go in and fix it.
All right. I should have included another thing here on this tab, but are my photos legal?
Yeah.
Should be the first part of this question, because you'll know if you went and pulled one from Google. So ask that question first. If you printed this out, make a little note. Are all of my photos and graphics legal? Do I have the right to use them? Are all of my photos and graphics on brand? If not, what adjustments can I make using photos from Unsplash and Pixabay? If I am on a budget and need to use free images, that's where I go. If you have a larger budget, you're welcome to go to places like Getty or Adobe Stock, and places like that.
Exactly. And we've done in previous TATs, you know about duotone, you know about color mix or whatever. So if you need to further bring your images together to be more cohesive, you can give them a tint. You can do all different kinds of things to bring that all together. But just finding like images will have a pulled together. Just think about how you dress and your wardrobe. Same thing here. You want it all pulled together. In this case, a little matchy as far as when the images go. Here's your freebie again.
Yeah, is my freebie listed front and center? If it's not, I'm going to come get you. Are you clearly conveying the value that you're offering? Because you've got to give someone, even if your freebie is beautiful, they won't know that if the aesthetics of your opt-in don't say that. So make sure that you're conveying what pain points that freebie solves for people right there when you're asking for their email address.
Right. And in our TAT freebie session, we actually showed you how to make the mock-up for your website to make it beautiful, because just because you say, get my 3 reasons, blah, blah, whatever it is, it's ugly. It's got to look good, because if it doesn't look good, people are like, I don't know if she knows what she's talking about. Okay. So big deal. And speaking of knowing what we're talking about, 3 testimonials to back that up. Okay. So at least 3. And I would want to have one other thing here. Well, let me finish the the testimonial. Image. I like the recognition of stars. So if it's at all possible, do a little 5-star, have the little quote, okay? Make them look finished. Use a Canva template to make a testimonial and put it on there. It all looks very professional pulled together. And then the last thing that if you will write in here is frequently asked questions. You need a little frequently asked questions section, because you're trying to overcome objections on your website. So the person that comes to your website, sees what it is that is in it for them or whatever, but they're immediately going to be like, oh, but I can't afford it. Oh, but I don't have time. Oh, but I don't, whatever. Your frequently asked questions serves to overcome those objections to get them to contact you. Okay, so that was a point that we didn't really cover in there exactly, but it is super important. And by using their own language and going ahead and overcoming their objection, you are going to be a faster path to the next step. Yeah.
Awesome. I think that was good. That was good.
I do too. I like this topic.
What do you think? Well, yeah, you do. What's a good conversion rate? We don't have much time, but let's answer real quick. 5,
It
10?
it
5?
depends, like probably like 5 to 10, and it depends on what it is. Like converting, like when they come to your website and to get your lead magnet or your freebie, probably 5 to 10. But obviously, that number you want.
Any conversion is good.
Yeah, and you want that number. Like in business, we get so caught up in all the things, but I like this part to be a competition. So it's like, what can I do? I like to come back to the website. We were just talking about this, is that, just because you put your website up one time doesn't mean you need to not revisit it. It needs to be changed every now and again. It needs to be changed for the seasons, to talk about, like, especially like for Mary Alice, Christmas is coming. How can that work in? Things like that. So you don't want to just throw it up and then revisit it a year from now. You want to continually improve it, and continually improve that conversion rate. There is a good measure of that. So you'll know you're on the right track when you're getting opt-ins. And stats, that's another thing. You can tell where those are where your traffic's coming from. So know what's working for you. So Google Analytics, all the website builders have stats built in as well, if you can keep an eye on those.
Exactly.
Right. And we used our full time.
We did.
So hopefully there are no questions.
There are. Come to the group.
Yep. Oh, wait, there is. Oh, no, we got that one. Good conversion rate. So,
yeah.
But we challenge you. Okay. This is take action time. So we challenge you to go and look at your existing website, or make a plan to research how you can start your own website if you don't have one. It will really serve you. Even if it has to be a link in bio type one pager, there are plenty of one page. Let's say you don't have enough content. There are one page templates that, you're about, and it shoots them down the page. Your contact, and it shoots them all the way down the page. So it doesn't have to be a huge endeavor, but it will make a huge impact.
Sure. Thank you guys. That was great. Useful as always. We appreciate the feedback, and we will be here for office hours on Thursday.
Hey, Sharice. Thank you. And Linda. All right. We are out. Thanks again. Come let us know what you did.